Hello everyone, and today I'm going to show you how to create a simple backdoor for XENA framework. XENA is software for adversary simulation and red team operations. XENA is free, but you can buy an already pre-built agent that works cross-platform, Windows, Linux, subdomain enumeration, top-level domain enumeration, reverse DNS, persistence on Windows, etc. We're gonna download XENA. Here we can just say 0. We can enter our email address. Gonna enter mine. And that's it. Now we hit download here once again. Okay, and we have downloaded it. Now we can extract these. So, this is the file. We open it. We can go to the user interface. Run this if you want to install it, but if you don't want to install it, you can just go to this binary folder and run this, which will present us with this user interface. Now we can go back to the C2 server and we can open up a terminal here. So what we can do is host equals, this is basically local address on which the C2 server will listen on, and then we can do port, which might be something like 8080, and then do the out token, which can be test123. Make sure that this secret is quite stronger than what I'm setting up here. And I'm going to run the C2 server for my system. Okay, perfect. So now what I can do is go to the settings. Here I can specify the address of the C2 server and the authentication secret. So what you can see here is that we have two things at our disposal. We can use this HTTP client library, and we can see the example usage at XENA agent. So what we can do is basically as we can see, we already have a template at our disposal. And if we run this agent, we can see it right here, and we can open it. And we can enter a command like ping. And we get pong in response. Basically there is no any other command implemented, so if I specify something like uptime or whatever and I send it, basically it should tell us that message is unknown. Let's allow this agent to execute something in a shell. We can do like this. So we have the output result and an error object, and we can do us. So yeah. So if error is present, then we're gonna set the response of the message to that error. Otherwise, we're gonna specify that the output is our out object. So let's repeat this one. So we get a new agent. And now, if we specify something like yeah, now commands are actually working. So basically, this agent is now able to execute something in a shell and return us a response. Bear in mind that all of these buttons and functions are not gonna work for you, because in this case, this agent is just not able to execute. Allow me to explain a bit what we have coded here. So, first we have imported some things from the Golang standard library, and we have imported the HTTP client library from the XENA C2 server. Then we have specified a variable which is the address of our C2 host, and then we have specified the timeout when sending the requests. And then in the main function we initialize basically XENA C2 HTTP client library. Then we grab the host name of an agent. Then in an infinite loop, if agent ID is undefined, meaning that we have not identified ourselves to the C2 server and the C2 server has not sent us an ID back, then we identify ourselves. We specify our host name, operating system, and the CPU architecture. And if everything is well, we set our agent ID to the ID that we got back. Then, in the loop, we fetch messages from the C2 server using this function from XENA library. And for each message, we will interpret the payload and issue back the response. And then we're gonna sleep for some specified amount of time, which is in this case 10 seconds. As you can see, creating an agent for XENA is super simple. I hope that you learned something today. See you in the next tutorial.